G'day guys, I'm Spud from Survivalists Southwest. Now, we all love doing a little bit of exploring in some of the places less travelled, but what do you do if your vehicle gets stuck or breaks down and you're out in the middle of nowhere? Well, I'm going to show you a few tips on how to make sure that you are found quicker with your vehicle. Alright, so I've been out full driving and all of a sudden my dashboard looks like this. Engine light, oil light. Not a good thing. So first things first, what you want to do, shut it down completely. Now, when you are stuck and your vehicle is in distress, there is one sign that is internationally recognized as vehicle in distress, and I'll show you what that is. Okay, so car's broken down, it's not starting. I am out in the middle of nowhere. No one knows where I am. First things first, what I want to do is the international sign for vehicle in distress, and that is bonnet up. So when search and rescuers are out searching for people, a few of the tools they have are aerial observers and drones. Now, an aerial observer or a drone, and they're out looking for someone who was last seen four-wheel driving. If they see a four-wheel drive with the bonnet up, that's immediately going to pique their interest and send people to your location. So that is the number one thing you want to do when stuck out in the wilderness with your vehicle. The second thing, stay with your vehicle as long as it is safe too. Alright, so I've got my bonnet up, but as you can see, my car is in the sun. It's well above 30 degrees Celsius today, which means this car is going to get way too hot to be able to chill out there in the shade. It's going to become quite dangerous. So what I want to do now is I need to find a way of getting out of the heat, getting out of the sun. Now, I don't want to move too far away from my vehicle because 99% of the times the first thing we find is your vehicle. So if you wandered too far away from it, we then have to do another search from there and it just takes longer. So stick by your vehicle or stick close to your vehicle. I do have a nice little spot of trees just over here, which we'll set up a shelter in there. Still close to my vehicle, and I can see if anyone approaches it. So let's go set up a shelter. All right, so don the backpack now. Now, as you can see, my car does have a awning there, but I'm going to just disregard that awning. Obviously, I would probably set that up and use that, but not everyone has an awning. So what we'll do is, as you can see, just over here, we got a few nice little patches of trees. So we'll just head into the shade there and we'll set up a shelter or a couple, we'll see. Okay, so my car is just over there, I can see it. I am pretty much out of the sun now. I'm in the shade, there's a nice breeze, so it's not too bad here. Over there, it is absolutely scorching. Now, in another video, I've shown you how to make a debris shelter, and another one I've shown you how to make a lean-to using branches and everything. I will put a card to that video right here. But today, we're going to make a few shelters using nothing but branches or hiking poles, which I happen to have, and the standard 3x3 meter tarp. Starting off with the plow point. Now, the plow point is my favorite because it is incredibly easy to set up, and it has the added bonus of being able to move it around the tree so you can get out of the prevailing weather. So if the wind changes direction or everything, you can just move your shelter around, keep yourself out of the wind, keep yourself out of the rain. Alright, I'll set this up and I'll show you the perks. Alright, so I do have some pegs as well, but you can make pegs out of branches. But basically, all you want to do is find a corner, put a bit of line on it. I might need a bit more than this because this is a rather large tree. Line up, should be fine. Basically what you want to do is tie that up there like that. Now what we want to do is just peg out the three sides. And then just adjust it as necessary. Now you can add more pegs. So you can add the pegs in the middles, and I'll go ahead and do that just to open it up a bit more. And there you have it. So that is a plough point shelter. So I'll show you inside. Come for a walk. And you can see inside there, there is plenty enough room to keep me out of the weather and to keep me out of the sun. And I said I'm close enough to my vehicle. Now, if you don't have any big trees, you will have to resort to using poles. So I'll set up another method, which is more for wet weather than for dry sunny days like today. But I'll set up another method using just this and a hiking pole. Okay, so this next shelter build only requires 4 pegs, your 3x3 meter tarp, and a decent sized branch. Start by laying your tarp down, shiny side up if it is a fly tent like this one. And what you want to do, lay it out up the top here halfway, put in a peg. Then you want to fold your tarp in half. Now you only want to put a peg in one side, and you'll see why in a minute. Now down this corner, only on the bottom, what we want to do is put in another peg. So we've got one peg up there, one peg down here. Now, halfway up, we want to grab this eyelet, bring that up towards here. What we want to do now is this corner, which was the corner over there, and this corner, we want to peg these ones together. Now we grab our branch, and we go around the branch just to sort of cinch it on there. Okay. So once we lock that up there, bring it up a bit further. We can bring this down to the ground. And there we have it. I'll bring this a bit closer so you can see. Don't mind the flapping. But now I have a tarp big enough that I can close myself into it, keep out of the weather. You can make this bigger simply by finding like a small nut or something, or a rock, grabbing your cordage, and I'll meet you around the back. Okay, so what I want to do, so that right there is that nut. So round turn, 2 half hitches on that. And essentially what that does is I can now attach that to another stick or a tree, and it just opens it right up. So here is that nut that I just tied in there. And for this I'll just use one of my hiking poles. Basically, because this is still on the roll, I can peg that like that. And now, as you can see, it's more open up, there's much more room. Plenty enough room for me to keep out of the weather. Alright, so the third one I'm going to show you involves the vehicle, and is probably the easiest one out of them all. Like I said, you want to stay with your vehicle because your vehicle is a much bigger target to spot, whether from the ground or from the air. More than likely, we'll spot your vehicle first. So I have a roof rack on my vehicle. If you don't have a roof rack, you can tuck it in the door, which is, I'll show you that way. So what you want to do, basically lock your tarp in, through the doors like that, and then essentially pull this out to the ground. Now if you want to make it a bit bigger, you can put hiking poles or branches in there, but basically that'll just provide a very basic lean-to shelter just to get you out of the sun. So I'll show you both methods. I'll peg one side down and I'll put one side with a pole there. Alright, so I've got my hiking pole or branch or whatever you're going to use. Basically if I bring that out, cinch that in there like that, and then bring it down. And this other side I'll peg straight down to the ground. And so essentially what we got there, pretty decent size lean-to, drop down at the back to sort of act as a windbreak, but on a hot day like today, I just want to get out of the sun, so I might lift that side up, let the wind come through, and then obviously you want to put something on the ground, keep yourself out of the dirt. So that was 3 very simple ways to get out of the sun, out of the heat. What we want to do now is work on signaling. Now, if there's no phone reception, obviously I can't call for help, but what I can do is use something that pretty much every single person has that has ever bought a first aid kit, and set up a signal system using a Mylar blanket. So if you don't know what a Mylar blanket is, it's like that shiny silver space blanket that you get in first aid kits. And I'll show you how to be able to set one of them up. It's very, very simple to be able to flash in all directions to attract the attention of someone who may be looking for you. Alright, so this is your standard Mylar blanket. Now it is getting a bit windy, so this will work really well. This is what we're going to use as a signal device. Now, not only is it making noise, but it is also flashing light everywhere, flashing reflection of the sun all around. And this is going to grab the attention of someone who may be out looking for you. It's definitely going to grab the attention of someone up in the air, because you can see glints of light from a long distance away. You can see it from kilometers away. So we want to set this up somewhere nice and high so it can not ball up but be able to flap around. So in order to do that, we need to make some tie points. Okay, so creating a tie point is fairly simple. What we do is we get a corner, find yourself a small rock or a honky nut or something, poke it in the corner like that, pinch it off, grab some rope and tightly ball it up like that. Now, it is a very simple way of creating a tie down point. So now we have something that we can tie it off to. So one of them on, depending on how you do it, each corner or just 2 top corners, and then we can tie it up somewhere. All right, so you want this to be somewhere out in full sun. So right now, I'm going to tie it on there and there and sort of use it as a flag. So that's going to flap around in the wind, and we'll see if we can see that from the other side. Okay, so I did actually end up moving it. As you can see, it's flapping there. You can see all these little glints coming from over there, and that is the idea of being able to signal someone with flashes. Now that's going to grab someone's attention from a long distance away. And as we walk up to it, that glinting from it is much more evident. The more it moves, the more reflection we're getting, the more random pattern, and the more it's going to grab our eye. The camera doesn't do it justice, but you can see that from a long distance away. And there you have it. So that's a few ways, if you're stuck with your car out in the bush waiting for rescue, that you can get out of the weather, get out of the sun, and help signal for rescue. Until next time, stay safe out there.